Hello, I'm Anthony Moreno. Thank you for joining us for In Focus. We continue our conversation today with President of the Islamic Center of Las Cruces. Please welcome back Mr. Radwan Jallad. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Anthony. Happy to be here.
As we were talking last time, we were speaking about the community outreach that the Islamic Center of Las Cruces was participating in with other religious groups in the community of Las Cruces. I was wondering if you could start off by sharing with us a little bit about how that progress has gone and what are some of the questions that people of other faith have about the Muslim faith?
So the outreach group is being started being active about a year and a half ago. We realized that it's very important for the community, what we start calling it Islam 101. So we worked with a couple community member and we established a couple presentation. And from these presentation, it grew. And basically a lot of curiosity is people see the news. We're being a lot on the news lately. Unfortunately, it's negative. It's always, it became the word Islam is associated with the word terrorism, which is totally false. So every community, including Las Cruces, with our outreach, we're working with churches. We get invited to churches. We did a series of education from the Sharia law to the woman right in Islam to what is Islam? And everybody has different questions. So we have the community in Las Cruces, it seemed like is very open to learning, very open to understand what is Islam is about, and is not focused on one area or another. So one of the things we're trying to do is there is 1.6 billion people of Muslim in the world, and we don't want to be hostage for the bad apples we have, because we do have them. But the fact in the United States, as a U.S. citizens, we feel we have a responsibility to be involved in our community, be supportive to other community actions, and work with the churches, work with other synagogue and other organization, being very, very helpful and very, very concerned about our well-being, and they're really stepping up. Like I said, I told you in the last one, I mean, Las Cruces being one of the most generous places for Muslim. I mean, where they recognize us as neighbor and friends, and we have the utmost respect among each other, and they're really being helpful. And the outreach group is really a result of the community asking the question, the community caring about the Muslim population in Las Cruces, about our safety and about our well-being in the community.
Are there concerns within your community about how Muslims are portrayed in the media?
Of course. I mean, unfortunately, there is negative news, and that negative news is not fake. Yeah, there is bad apples. But we would like to have we would like the media to be more sensitive to 1.6 million people, be sensitive to the 3.3 million people you mentioned.
What are some of the things you think that the media could do to really kind of pay attention to that and put things in perspective?
That's a very tough question. Just to answer it in a word is, yes, we do have negative news. They're unfortunate. What happened in California, what happened in Orlando was very, very bad. And it's not what Islam represent. But with the heat of that reporting on the incident on that day, Muslim always kind of like overrun, because there is no time to say, well, most of the Muslims don't care, don't really support that. But at some point there has to be a follow-up. Because none of the Muslims agree with what happened with Orlando or California or 9/11 or any of these areas. So we're just, we want to be, we're U.S. citizen, we're law-abiding citizen. I mean, the student who comes here to study, that's their main focus, not to cause trouble. Mm-hmm. They're here to study. And the media need to do a job, and we cannot tell them how to do their job. We just need a little bit positive added to at some point, at a different time maybe, because one bad thing happened, everybody's eyes is clouded, and you're focusing on the negative things, and it's like you cannot think positive. And we would like the media to be like this meeting today is a positive, and just kind of work with us. We're not that evil people. We're understand what our religion is about. And that Muslim in the U.S. should not be hostage for the act of a couple radicals that they do exist somewhere else, and they're causing trouble. And we have no control over them, and we don't have control over anything that happened.
I'd like to talk with you a little bit about, at the end of last year, the Southern Poverty Law Center released a report on what they called hate incidents that occurred in the 10 days following the election of President Trump. 6% of 867 incidents were reported to be anti-Muslim incidents. Mm-hmm. What are the concerns within the Muslim community that you are involved with about these incidents, and have you had a discussion about them?
We have. A lot of our congressional gave us a call and made sure that they're aware of the problems. Racial issues, ethnic, religious race problem is always going to be there. Like I said, we live in a really nice state, and even though it's a concern for us, we do believe that the law enforcement is going to do their job. Our job is to document and be mindful on how do we react. So it's shameful that a Muslim, an LGBT community member, a Jewish, whatever you name it. I mean, we can go, the list is so long. Gonna have something when it goes against them. But what we would like to do, what our concern is not, we know these things gonna happen, and we don't want a Matthew Shepard happen to a Muslim or non-Muslim. We don't want any of these things happening again. So we're gonna be mindful, we're gonna be careful. We wanna work with our law enforcement community, educate them about us. We have to trust that they're gonna do the right thing by everybody who got discriminated against. The fact is, we need to, a lot of things is now, everything is heating up. I believe with everything going on, everything is heating up. And I just want to make sure that we're not escalating something that doesn't need to be escalated. If a one person bystander, get attacked verbally, physically, just do the right thing. Report it. You do not need to continue arguing or discussing or trying to educate him on the spot. Just try to walk away, go to a peaceful places. In these incidents, for example, in Albuquerque, mm-hmm. This is one of the reported incident. Well, the other shopper came to her aid.
So you're talking about there was a woman who was dressed a certain way.
And was dressed in Islamic traditional dress, and she was verbally attacked by, one of the other shoppers. And but you know what? There's a lot of people who understand, and there's a lot. Even though there's people who has different agenda, different beliefs, we cannot change their belief. But what I can do is I can de-escalate it by other people, community member coming up and saying, protect her, The shop owner came to protect her. So there is a lot of positive things that we should build up on rather than, oh, we're being attacked.
I see.
So yes, the attack was real. It got reported. There's many civil rights organizations that recording these data, from CARE to ACLU. They're doing a wonderful job. And then there's the law enforcement that need to do their job, which they're doing it. But the problem is they cannot do it if we escalate it to the point where it become political rather than an event.
I understand. Unfortunately, we're out of time, and thank you so much for being here and sharing so much with us. And I want to thank you for joining us. And we want to thank you for joining us for In Focus.
Well,
I'm Anthony Moreno.
Thank you again.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.